What is up, guys? Zan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a passing ability that might have been flying below the radar all year long and we didn't even know it. But before we do that, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden 20 live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. The link is below in the description. And I do have exclusive subscriber-only content for my Twitch Prime and Tier 1 subscribers. My Tier 2 subscribers will get my Washington Redskins Hot Route Master offense on top of those sub tips that go out each and every Friday. Okay, guys, without further ado, I'm very excited to do this video. As you guys know, last week we started an experiment with a center ability, and we did a couple of videos on that. In fact, I did a commentary showing myself using it against multiple pass rush elites and also my opponent using it against my pass rush elites. And we talked about the triple stack on that particular center. So if you guys missed that, the link for that video, that commentary is below in the description. But right now, we can basically say that the pass block abilities on a center, for instance, I am stacking pass block elite and all day and identifier on my center, have really increased the pocket time that I've had in this game to make reads. And that's kind of the goal right now as we're heading into basically May, is trying to make this game have a little bit longer staying ability as we just try to truck through the summer and try to get to Madden 21. We all know it's been a very trying year for passers, and I'm just doing what I can, and also so is Jimmy and Colt and all the players that we lab with in the Twitch community that I have on the Twitch channel. We're all trying to lab things and find something new. And basically what we were doing over the last week was testing that center ability. And I heard somebody just come into the chat once and they said, hey, you should really check out this ability on a quarterback. And, you know, I just was kind of like, I passed it off, just was like, okay, whatever. Like, admittedly, you know, it was something that I had heard about and most pro players don't run it. And, you know, a lot of content creators haven't touched it this year. In fact, I don't know any content creator has touched this ability, but somebody brought it up and I was just like, okay, whatever. And then we continued testing the center. And then a day later, somebody else, a completely different person comes in and goes, hey, Zan, you should really check out this ability on your quarterback. And it was the same ability. And I was just like, okay, two times, that maybe is a coincidence, but I didn't really get onto it because I was still testing the centers at that point. And then I heard it again. And then yesterday was kind of the final straw. I actually got a tweet from a girl named Serena who had finished her weekend league, and she had won 18 games. And she put out a tweet saying, thank you to Zan and Colt and Jimmy for showing the community these center abilities. As a pocket passer, this has you know, really made my pocket game a lot better. The passing feels like I can actually do it with a pocket quarterback. She's a 49ers Raiders theme teamer, I think, and she uses Joe Montana. So you know the trials and tribulations of using a pocket passer in that situation. So, you know, I was just glad that it had helped her. And then she put a response to her own tweet saying, hey, you should try out this ability. And it was the same ability that I'd heard 3 or 4 times the previous week. So admittedly, I was like, okay. So I sent her a message and I was like, hey, I've been ignoring this ability for the last week and I haven't looked at it this year. I think I'm underestimating it. Talk to me about it. And she goes, okay, this ability is, drum roll please, it is gift wrapped. And what she said is, as you read it, it just says higher chance to complete passes to uncovered targets. So naturally, when you read that, if you're a player, you're thinking, well, if my receiver's uncovered, I don't need a catch boost. He's already open, right? So I think this is the reason that content creators, streamers, pro players haven't used this ability. But I think that EA, from at least what Serena has told me, has kind of misrepresented what this ability actually is. What we're finding, and what she said essentially this is think about all the times you throw a route to a receiver that has body positioning and they end up dropping the ball because they get hit from behind. There's so many instances of that happening that come to my mind right off the bat. The first one is you throw a streak down the sideline and you know you have a step or two, you catch it, you run a step, and then you get suctioned or shoelace tackled from behind and you drop it. You've seen that before. Another example that I realize happens all the time is you go to throw a corner route. Maybe there's somebody in man coverage on it and they trail it from behind and, you know, they jar it loose, very similar to the rack drop that I just mentioned on the streak. This one right here is the one that happens the most. Curls, comebacks, and hitches. You go to throw a route that's a timing route with a player that has their body between their defender and the quarterback. They show you their numbers. You hit them on the numbers. They catch it. They go to turn upfield and get that yards after catch, and they get hit from behind and they drop it. So what Serena basically is saying is that in her experience with this ability, and she's been using it all year, she's used this ability all year long, and I'm just hearing about it now near May, is that this ability was completely misrepresented by EA. I don't know if this is 100% true yet, but I do have a clip or two I'm going to show you here from testing it yesterday. So I went ahead and tested it as a stealth test on stream. The last 4 hours of the stream, I made that change to gift wrapped on Vic. And when I say that I probably threw 2 or 3 balls that I normally wouldn't throw per game, and I only recall maybe dropping one of them, and I had body positioning on pretty much every single throw, that was my experience just from yesterday's testing. Now I'm going to continue to test it again today. You guys can find me. I'll be live at 2 p.m. Central Time here, as I am every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. What I did is I ran that ability for 4 hours last night, and I probably threw between 10 and 15 balls that were basically 50-50. You know, 50% of the time you catch them, and then the other 50% of the time it hits you in the hands, and then the DB hits you from behind a second later and you drop it. That type of 50-50, not just throwing the ball up for grabs. Now, what's going to be interesting is I'm actually going to transition here. I'm going to show you a couple of clips that I would like you guys to look at. And the first one is going to be a clip from my stream yesterday. This was my first game trying this ability out. And what I do here in this example is you notice that he's got Julio Jones here. And what he's going to play is he's going to play a half coverage. He's actually got this set. I want to say he rotates Julio out to a deep half over here. And then I think he's got a deep half over here. And this type of coverage, you guys have known all year how hard it's been to throw post routes in between cover 2 safeties, because those safeties break and they hit the guy from behind, even though you're splitting the safeties and you drop the pass. Now, also keep in mind that Ed Reed here is in the zone. I just want you to watch this play and see what happens. And this is something that I started to notice all the time yesterday, even downfield. So not just underneath, you know, throwing balls in space, timing routes and holding on to them, but down the field, I was seeing this as well. So let's go ahead and let this play roll here. Get a little bit of a blip here, but we're good to go. And what you're going to notice is that Julio Jones, with no abilities on the backside, runs this route, fans out into a deep half. I go to split the safeties, body positioning, gift wrapped. Okay. That's one example. Now I want to show you another example. This is an example from a clip that my guy Jimmy sent me, who was testing it as well, because we were talking about it in our Discord. This was later that night, and I think you're going to start to see a theme. Go ahead and let this tape roll. Deep half, inside positioning on the deep half, inside pass lead down the seam, bodies up, gift wrapped, touchdown. Now you're probably thinking, oh, hey, that's just an ag. Now let's go ahead and show you another example. This is from Colt 45. Colt 45 sends me an example of him using it. He goes ahead and runs this play. Now, admittedly, he admits this was a bad read, but I just want you to watch this. His player that he's going to throw to has body positioning on the players that are guarding him. And even though this is a terrible pass lead by Colt, notice how he holds onto this football. They're getting these standing, your feet on the ground style catches, even with no abilities. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Sorry about that. But I think that is the cusp of something that could be completely game-changing this late in the cycle. Now, of course, we could be wrong. This could just be early success that we're having. But, you know, for 3 guys to test this ability out after hearing about it just yesterday afternoon, and to see drastic results in terms of catching the ball and not only, you know, falling to the ground and holding on to it, but like actually catching the ball downfield with body positioning. You go back to what Rex Dixon said a couple years ago before he left EA. One of the last games that he played was when EA implemented basically what they called like leverage advantages, where if a player had body positioning, even if they were inferior player, if they had that body positioning, it was paramount. Now, it would absolutely make sense that EA would keep that body positioning and make you pay for an ability like gift wrapped to hold on to the football despite having body positioning. Now, imagine this. How many times this year have you said this phrase? And I know I've said this 100 times. I can't catch a ball without the ability on the receiver. So post flag elite, you know, you don't catch your post routes over the middle without post flag elite. You have to be able to take a big hit. Okay, so you've heard that. Well, streak specialist. You want to catch your streak with the guy trailing right behind you. You need that rack ag, so you need that streak specialist. Or, you want to catch a crossing route on the sideline in traffic. Got to have that crossing specialist. And why would I take an ability off of my wide receiver to put an ability on my center to get more time to pass? Because when I drop back to pass, my receiver's just going to drop the ball anyways. What if the entire time this year, Giftwrapped has been staring us in the face, and Giftwrapped is basically the hot route master? That's kind of like the theory I'm going to test. I don't know if it's true or not, but what if Giftwrapped is the hot route master for quarterbacks in terms of giving your receivers better body positioning catches in traffic? That is what we're going to be testing today and this weekend as a whole here on the Twitch channel. And the good news is that darn near every quarterback gets it. Like if I were to go and check out, I want to say if I were to check out my backup quarterback, I've got Troy Aikman, who's super affordable. Pretty much any quarterback in the game gets this ability, I'm pretty sure. So, if I were to go to his tier 1 abilities, it's just the one that looks like a present, right? So let's see if I can find it there. Not on his tier 1. Let's see. There it is, gift wrapped, right in the second slot. Higher chance to complete passes to uncovered targets. This whole time, I strongly feel this way. This ability has been poorly communicated to us as basically an ability that says, hey, if your guy's open, he'll catch it. Well, of course. How often does a guy drop a wide open pass in Madden? Once every, 50 games? You see it every once in a while where it's like really crippling drop. I had one the other day, but it's not enough of a frequency for me to say, oh, I'm going to put gift wrap to make sure that never happens. Like if it happens once 50 games, that's just really terrible luck. But if this actually means, hey, your guys are going to catch the ball in traffic a lot better if they have body positioning, I think everybody would put this on their quarterback. So that's what I urge you guys to do as a community is test this out. I'm not out here saying definitively that this ability is going to be a new meta, but I think there's something to this. I really, really do. I heard this 2 or 3 times, like I said, in chat last week. And then when I heard it from Serena, shout out to Serena for this tip as well. That was enough for me. I heard it 4 times in a week. And, the experience that Colt Jimmy and I had testing this out last night has us very, very excited. Between the center abilities and this gift wrapped, we really think passing could be back at least for the next 2 months before Madden 21 comes out. And man, what a shame that would be if this was staring us in the face the whole time, but better late than never. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I apologize for not having as much game footage as I wish I could have, but we are, again, going to be testing it out on the Twitch channel today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day, 2 p.m. Central Time every day on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. I'll see you guys in the chat. We'll see you guys tomorrow here on the channel with our next video. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.